What is biochemistry? It can simply be called as study of biomolecules. This begs the question of what are biomolecules? Biomolecules are any of the numerous substances that are produced by cells and living organisms. These are chemical compounds produced by living organisms. Not only that, biomolecules are what living organisms are ultimately made of. So what makes these life molecules special? It all started with the Big Bang about 14 billion years ago. At first, simplest elements like hydrogen and helium came into being. As the universe rapidly expanded and cooled, the particles condensed under the influence of gravity to form large celestial objects like stars and planets. There, the simpler nuclei fused together to form more complex elements. Life began about 4 billion years ago from these very particles. So in terms of their origin, there is nothing special about these biomolecules. Initially, simpler organisms appeared. They had the ability to extract energy from chemical compounds. They later evolved to trap the energy from sunlight and convert them into chemical energy for storage and utilization. Gradually, through the process of evolution, they gave rise to present generation of organism. When isolated and examined individually, these particles are same as the ones that are seen in inanimate object. They even conform to all the physical and chemical laws of the nature, same as the inanimate particles. How then did they produce life? How did the particle that make up other inanimate objects give rise to living organisms? How did the living organisms evolve to produce biomolecules from these same particles? How did these simple biomolecules associate in ways so numerous to give rise to more complex biomolecules? How did the chemical and structural properties of the molecules affect the remarkable properties of living organisms? But when we closely examine these biomolecules, we see enormous diversity. Even though they share a lot in common as to their chemical makeup and fundamental properties, they take numerous different forms and exhibit variety of functions in different organisms. This great unity at the molecular level somehow gives rise to this great diversity that is observed in nature. This makes it difficult to even generalize about living organisms. So how come the same components are able to give rise to these numerous form and function? Biochemistry attempts to answer all these questions. The study of biochemistry is all about this collection of inanimate molecules which conform to all the physical and chemical laws of other inanimate particles, but have associated in such way as to produce life, interact with nature, and ultimately propagate it. It is study of structure, mechanisms, and chemical process shared by all organisms. It is the chemistry in action. It tries to explore the fundamental and organizing principles of life in all its diverse forms. It is ultimately the complete exploration of all the wonders of life itself. The knowledge of biochemistry has tremendous impact in the fields of medicine, dentistry, agriculture, forensics, pharmacology, anthropology, environmental science, energy, and numerous other fields.